grandmother, my mother's mother, was Miss Lavala. She lived in Balangudan, not with my mother, but with her sister. As her eldest daughter, Mrs. Javadra. And my mother lived in Balangudan and Mahavatana with her father. Mr. S.T. Mahavatana was a Rate. And my father married and Binna, gone to Binna, and came and settled down in Mahavatana. And he got his father-in-law's job at Mahatya. Then of course they were influential enough to transfer their jobs from son to son-in-law and all that. So that's how my father became Rate Mahatya. They are from Kandy. There are three sisters of Ratwatis, Mahaya Ratwatis, Dumbar Ratwatis and Nagol Ratwatis. My father gave Mahaya. There are 11 boys in their family. And their mother was Miss Leuke Ratwat. Story is one mother of course and three. Yes, she had 3 sons. And they were all went as, what is it? Not Ratwat. No, that's Parnagamas. They were all Parnagamas. So she went to the governor then at that time, said, I want 2 of my sons to go as Ratwatas. So she took all the 3 sons and 2 were named Ratwat, the other Parnagamas. And my father happened to be Ratwat. My father was a very kind-hearted man, but very scared of him. He was not that he was hard on him. Anyway, he was a disciplinarian and never allowed us to go about, and always very careful that we as young girls should not go out. You want to go play tennis? I used to go for tennis. I had to be escorted by somebody, an aunt of mine or somebody, or himself. I used to help him a lot in his work. When he was at Mahatya during the malaria epidemic and all, in the social service work, I used to help him. So I was at home, I left school early. I was at home for about 5 years after I left school. So I was very helpful to him. A strong person, our family was my mother, no doubt. She was one who dominated all of us. Mahatma, she had treated a lot of people and cured also. And I used to help her with making the medicine, because she never allowed me to take and make the medicine at home, because they won't make it properly. So she had all the equipment for that. She should do it at home. I used to help her with that, to grind things and pound things and make the mixture. I used to keep some of them patients at home. Now, for instance, a woman came, she was going to pick firewood and got a piece of firewood into her eye. She came with this piece of stick in her eye. My mother pulled it out and kept her there and treated and cured her, I sent her. She got from her father, I don't know. We lived with the old gentleman for some time at Mahavatana. Of course, it was a primitive area, but beautiful place. Mahavatana, of course, the paddy fields and forest. And even elephants are not very far from there, because my grandfather cut a huge ditch to keep the elephants out. It's still there. That ditch is, of course, now most of it is covered up now, but it's still there. That's to keep wild elephants out. So it was a wild elephant area. Now, of course, it is there are a lot of villages there, families. So my parents are buried there. Then my mother wanted to leave because she lost her father there and some 2 children. She refused to stay there. So we had to come to Balangudu. My father's circuit bungalow, we can live there and got it improved. School, first I went to a kindergarten school in Balangudu. Some friends of ours running a school. Balasuri, they were a planter's family. I was there for just a short time, and then from there I went to Ferguson High School, Ratnapura. For a short time, stayed with grand aunt of my mother's aunt. cart used to come in the morning to buggy car. I used to go with a chaperone in the buggy car to the school. I enjoyed that. And he used to come in the evening and pick me up. Nuns were very nice, they were very nice. Irish nuns, very kind. Martin Gerard, she was one of the oldest there. She died also there. Martin Daria was a music teacher. Martin Agatha, you must have heard about her. Short lady, yes. Girls used to play the fool of her. Muslim teachers died over there. Some left the country and went some into other convents out of the country to Bangalore and some in Far East, Burma. Some of the nuns went. Some went to France. Mahesh Situnayake, Princess Silva, and Decima Fernando. She's in Australia now. And Yogamani Yoga Sundaram. They were 6 years in Australia. A lot of my friends have gone away, of course. Those are my close friends in the boarding. I think I was not happy about it. For days I cried. It was not too bad. Only were complaining about the food. But my mother said, I know why you all are making all these fuss. You can't expect better food than when you are cooking in large quantities. Anyway, we were grumbling. We had to go to church. As boarders, we had to go to church for mass in the early morning, get up at 5 in the morning and go to church. Why? Because they didn't want to leave us alone and go in the boarding. For fear that somebody might run away or something. One girl did run away. So after that, we had to go to church. We liked it around. Because we should make cause excuse and stay back, saying that not well. Otherwise, we had to go to church. We liked it around us, especially Sundays and weekdays. No, we used to take books and read behind. We sit in the back pew and we take our school books and study there in church. Of course, we got caught. We got it from the nuns. Everything we had to do to time. From the moment you got out of bed, you had to go to church as a Catholic. I was not a Catholic, but a Catholic convent. And from that time on, everything was done to time. Studying, bathing, eating, everything was done. So we were used to discipline. We didn't, of course, we got bad marks. If we were late, they got 10 bad marks. If we were disrespectful, they got 10 bad marks. At the end, they total those marks and we were punished some way. So I think that discipline really worked in all of us. I am very proud that I stayed at the convent and I went through that discipline. There's a man called Mr. Nanakara from Panadura, who was a VC chairman. He was very close to my husband. He and another gentleman called Mr. Senaratna. I think they arranged it. I was not aware of all that. He came alone. He came as Minister of Local Government and Health. He came to visit the clinic. On that pretext, he was brought there, and he had lunches and went. First time I met him, and a man from a big family in Colombo, in South. Actually, I had to think a lot before I decided. My marriage was a happy one. You might ask why? Because my husband was very good to me. He understood me and I understood him. Some people thought it was difficult. It was not difficult. He understood people. If you understood him, it was easy to live with him. People was wondering how I was living with this man. They thought it was very hard and strict. No. I first came for a homecoming. There was a homecoming ceremony for that. And we had, of course, receptions all the way in Natanagar electorate, including Dumpe. About 20 receptions on the way. We finished there by the time we came home here after the gate was nearly 2 o'clock. And we were received there by a procession of dancers and all that with the staff of the Horgola conducting us to the Valavo. We had to walk up here. And then I came, of course, there was a stately old Sir Solomon Bandaranaike, father-in-law who stood there and greeted us. Because he scolded his son for getting late. He was of course very nice to me because I used to go off with my husband, but I was a little scared because of his position, Mahmood and big man. Actually, I was scared. Of course, he was a different type of man, but he was loved by because he helped the people a lot. You go to any temple in Nathanal, they always say, we got tags from Sir Solomon, we got timber from Sir Solomon. He helped in temples. So he was loved by the people, not only my husband. My husband's great grandfather, also Bandaranaike, his photograph is upstairs, portrait. He was the one who was asked by the British government to build the candy Abepusa Road. And he had come here to find a spot to stay. And he walked down here, it was all forest here. He found a kirigba here. It's in Solomon's book also, remember these studies? And it was an ideal spot to build a house, lucky spot. That's why we built a house here. My husband lived in Wentworth. He took a rented house, land in his house next to the Landville Theatre called Wentworth, and he lived there. I came there. For some years we were there. Then we shifted to Russell Place. My father-in-law bought this for my husband, and we came here. We were born here. No, at Wentworth. She was born, and so was Chandrika, and only Andra was born in Russell Place. After children born, I was not so lonely. I was doing Mahila Samiti work, so I had to go a lot of time for that also. Sometimes I did neglect the children also. I had to because I had to go do this Mahila Samiti work with Mrs. T.L. C. Rajapaksa and crowd, and we used to go out visiting to the villages, which I found very interesting. So, but I neglected and didn't because I had good servants for the children. I had a nanny for Sunitra. Of course, he had problems with the UNP, as you know. And he had to get over that. And finally left the UNPS because of that. Because I was behind it to get out of the UNP, I must say. Because I know what DS was doing. He wanted to put his son there. He thought son should succeed him, not my husband. So he was all the time encouraging Dudley. In fact, when that they formed the government in 1943, I think. He asked for the Ministry of Agriculture, but he said, no, I want to give to my son Dudley because I can control it. And he said, then my husband, give me health and local government. So he allowed that. So it didn't take him long to form. He left the UNP in 1951. In 51 September he formed the SLP. Left in 51 July, the government, and formed the SLP in September 51 September 3rd. Because I was helping in his election order. I went around addressing meetings and all that. For the first time in my life I addressed meetings, especially his own electorate, because he had to go out to help the others. After he left the UNP in 52, he had his own party, so he had to help his own party, and as leader he has to go around. So I allowed him to go, and I talked to his electorate. Then it was Dumpe and Attanagale together. It was a big electorate, but I did it. Of course, I got carried from the women, rural women, Mahila Samiti. I thought if they can speak, why can't I? They are so not self-conscious at all, the rural women, so I got courage from that. That's how I really started talking. Mahila Samiti helped me taught me how to speak.